Woo! It's everybody's favorite officer, Charles Faulkner Jr., Baltimore's finest, world's finest. It's the best of his voice, it's the best of his debates. Woo!
And it's like
Well,
crazy
just because you don't want a thug,
but
doesn't mean
the
a lot
majority of the
people
women
don't
that I
want a
hang
thug.
around have never dated a thug either. But I mean,
What's up, everybody?
let the
up,
rhetoric,
big dog?
speak,
Hey, what's up,
and
Charles?
that's what they running with. So
Is this Mr. Faulkner?
The officer in charge, yes.
Oh, but yes. Good evening. Well,
I just have to say this real quick. Okay. Number one, Russell Wilson is not a simp. If you don't, I want y'all to follow the story.
I agree.
I'm gonna let you know. This dude was a superstar athlete since middle school. Okay, everybody's listening. This is Uncle Charles teaching time. Who gets more female attention than the star quarterback at a middle school or high school?
Agree.
Nobody. When he goes to high school, does the attention and the pussy rate goes up or down?
I would
It multiplies.
have to say it goes up.
It multiplies. When he goes to college, does the pussy rate go up or down? It multiplies. So.
But apparently, he had his quote unquote high school sweetheart, the white lady, Ashton.
Okay, we're gonna live in reality. Okay.
You have access to pussy though, like.
Okay, because guess what?
What'd you say, Psycho?
No, I was saying Sims can still have access to pussy, like just because you're a simp don't mean you don't have no access to
I'm gonna
pussy.
say this way. The reason why he married Sierra is because as soon as they found out, they announced they were dealing with each other, his jersey became the number one selling jersey in the NFL. If you got with a woman who made you $50 million just by announcing that you deal with her, are you gonna marry her? Yeah. What is marriage?
I don't know if it.
What is the number one thing about marriage? It's a business transaction. It's a business.
Yeah.
If it doesn't make dollars, then what?
Don't make sense.
Don't make sense. However, I don't think with Russell.
She still don't like that angle because you kind of objectifying it and making
Number
Russell
one.
seem pragmatic and
Let me ask you this one question about Sierra. Let me ask you this one question about Sierra. What dude does she mess with that's not a millionaire?
I don't know what a resume is, so.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know a resume.
For the last 10, 15 years, besides Bow Wow. Well, Bow Wow's roughly don't count. He made some hits and losses, but he's still in the Millionaires Club.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, he was still on TV at the time.
So, she's just messing with people on her level.
But
Why? Just like Steph Curry. With Steph Curry, that wasn't him. That was a publicist. See, this is the main issue with the black community. They do not understand strategy, military strategy at that. You know what Russell Wilson?
But why? But then why do? I'm so confused because why do some of the athletes marry women who aren't millionaires? Then I don't.
Let me ask you something. Do they marry an ugly bitch or a pretty
Some
bitch?
of them are ugly.
That's what.
I mean, I should say average. They're not,
Majority of athletes are gonna marry for beauty. Why? Because beauty costs. Just like you got a lot of females out there taking care.
But that's
of
not increasing their pockets. Isn't that taken away from their pockets? Because she's high maintenance, right?
No, because number one, you need a certain look.
But that's still subtracting from his overall bottom line, isn't it? By her having to go get the plastic surgery
Let me ask you this. If you're a billionaire, what type of car would you drive? A multi-billionaire. Would you drive a fucking Impala? No, you would not.
If I like the power, yeah.
A 96
Well,
Impala.
guess what? Are you gonna get the basic Impala?
What do you mean by basic?
Yeah, I
Like,
would have a 96 SS for sure. That was my actually first favorite car.
Would it be basic?
I think I know where he's coming from. You can.
No, yeah, I get what he's saying.
I'm saying as far as the car, like you will with cars, same thing with women. The more money you make, you want a woman that meets that level, if not higher. So if you're gonna buy an Impala, you're gonna buy the premium with all the shit.
Right. I get that about the
Just like
car.
this. Just like you have a lot of ladies out there who complain about finding men on their level. What do they mean by that? If they have a master's degree, they want a dude with a master's or higher.
But just because you have that degree doesn't mean you can hold a woman's attention. You see what I'm saying?
And it's the same thing that goes for ladies, right?
That's why I'm asking you, because you said Russell Wilson and Sierra are doing a business contract, which yes, marriage is a contract. However, I'm still like confused as to why other athletes wouldn't marry a woman that's quote unquote on their level.
Because beauty. A lot of them is beauty.
So it wins out for beauty for the other athletes, but for Russell and Sierra's situation, it's not beauty, it's the money.
Not every situation is the same, is it?
Correct. I understand that. Mm-hmm.
You can tell it's, guess what? If a chick I meet gives me $100,000 and puts me up in a $200,000 status just by dealing with her, I'd be a fool.
What would be your drive to get married though? Just so you can later on get divorced and cash in? Is that it?
You want divorced because guess what?
Why get married? If she's already giving you $100,000, why wouldn't you milk it for what else you could get out of her?
It's called, let me ask you this question, right? Let me give you this picture. Steph Curry and his wife, Aisha, right? Do they have this image of the new Huxtable couple, right? They have this little image thing, and image does what? It sells. Image is everything. They could end up being $1 billion couple if they play their cards right, because they fit a nice image that they want to portray, not only in the NBA, but also when it comes to cooking, when it comes to network TV. See, a lot of people don't think long game. There's too many damn people in the black community playing checkers who need to learn to play chess. Once you master chess, you learn how to play Risk. And if you ever play Risk, it can take you 2 days to win that bitch. You need to think longer term. See, too many people that, oh, you a simp. No. I'm pretty, guess what? When she made those comments and said all that stupid shit, I'm pretty sure her parents called her, Steph's parents called her. Steph probably said, what the fuck are you doing? You're fucking up the bag. And I'm pretty sure some of the officials in the NBA made a call to their family. See, the problem with the black community...
But didn't Russell level up when he got Sierra because he divorced the white woman
guess what?
Who had 30 whatever, who had 30 whatever years old she was when they got divorced. Looked like she was 45.
Russell was always leveled up. He comes from a well-off family. He's always leveled. He's only just increased his level. That's what goddamn Super saying. You're only gonna get even more super.
No, but just real talk. I understand what Charles is saying. And I think I would agree, but I don't think Russell is that savvy to be like, oh, I'm gonna get with Sierra because she has a bunch of money. Like I personally don't.
Yeah, I mean,
what does Sierra do? Here's what Sierra does for Russell. He opens up another market.
No, I agree. He could be thinking that way.
49% of the ticket holders in the NFL are women. That's another damn market. Who spends more money, typically, men or women?
Women.
It's business. It's not personal, it's business.
I don't know.
Actually love her.
He can about a bunch of famous black females, though. It ain't have to be Sierra.
Yeah, that's...
Like, Russell Wilson is like, you know, he's like the closest thing to Tom Brady that black people got, right? So like, so he had his pick of the litter, and you know, he chose Sierra. So I think y'all giving him a little too much credit.
What's wrong with Sierra?
Nothing is wrong with Sierra.
I'm just saying he didn't have to pick her though.
Right.
He could have picked her,
but guess what? Good choice. If the motherfucker makes you 20 million or 50 million, guess what? They're only going to increase their market. It's a brand. The Russell Wilson brand is increasing.
I agree, but he could have got with any. What
he could have got with Annihilation or somebody. I don't know.
Somebody was even more famous.
Well, this is where y'all lose me because I don't really pay attention. What's up with Annihilation? She got issues too.
I'm just saying he could have picked any woman.
She's saying that because Sanaa Lathan is older than Sierra, so she want to make sure that the black dude get with the oldest thing possible.
What?
He's not gonna get.
Oh, Jay, what are you talking about?
Boy, on crack or something, man.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't be paying attention to it like that. So I'm kind of lost. Like how y'all can go through and y'all can say like Sierra was this. All I know about the little chick who danced, they said she had a penis when she was younger. That's all I knew about it. She
I know exactly. They said she was a hermaphrodite. So
y'all know
why would
everything.
he even
Like they be knowing everything. I don't be knowing this stuff, man. I don't know.
What are you talking about? That's what I'm asking. See how why is it with
now she got on her? All I know she's a single mother, and
that's all I know too. That's all I know. She came out of the music industry. That's all I know about the girl.
That's all I know.
I forgot she messed with Bow Wow. He just reminded me about that.
Well, yeah, Bow Wow, I remember that, but
after Bow Wow, I don't know who she was dealing with after Bow Wow. I don't be on top of it like that.
Me neither.
My whole thing is like, you know, I get it that she messed up with Future and she did corrective action. She got with Russell. They seem to be solid together, and folks still throwing salt. Like I don't get it. Like if this is a business arrangement, business is going very well. So I don't see.
How does she bust up?
But in Steph Curry's case though, his wife don't bring that same aspect that Sierra brings.
Right.
Like Steph Curry straight made her. Like when nobody was without Steph Curry.
No doubt.
It's a different situation.
Yeah, she does. That's the family motto. They build that little black wholesome new age 21st century Huxtable family bullshit.
I would think they would look at Steph Curry and Aisha more so as a quote unquote Huxtable model.
That's what that's what I said. They look at them as the Huxtable model.
But you said that for Russell and Sierra as well.
No, that's not Sierra and them. That's definitely it's for the Currys.
Now you talking about the Currys with the wholesome joint. You was talking about the Currys with them.
Yeah. But yeah, you got to realize they've literally been together for 15 years, pretty much 15, 16 years.
That's the point. That's the point about strategy. See, this is the beautiful thing about strategy. All my military brothers and sisters know. Well, you know what the one thing about strategy sometimes is this. Shut the fuck up. You don't tell everybody your business. Even if I'm broke and I'm married, you don't need to tell everybody your damn business.
We're fine. I'm not with it.
Right, and that's where Aisha messed up.
She could have fucked them out of money. Okay? You don't fuck your family out of money.
Nah, she's still going crazy though. She just said she didn't feel accepted by black people.
I think her saying that is strategic.
That's the connection fit of a lot of light-skinned women. Because colorism affects women way more than it affects men.
Right.
I agree with
that.
I agree 1,000% on that.
So let me tell you why. My nephew's light bright. 2 black parents. So is my niece. My sister is light bright. We joke about being light or dark. Men joke about it. We don't take that shit personal. Shit, they be like, hey, darkness, what's up, brightness? Like, goddamn, you look like a glass of milk. Shit, we joke about the shit. Women.
Men can be affected by it, just, you know.
Yeah, they can be affected.
I wouldn't say that they just joke about it, because I've heard black men who are dark skinned say, oh, I want a red bone, or I want this kind of girl.
Right, and a lot of
put it to you this way. It's preference versus somebody who has a mental condition. Let me ask you this one.
It ain't just women with mental conditions.
Let me put it to you this way. How many light-skinned sisters go to hell in school for something they cannot help?
Black dudes as well. I've been at parties where they say, oh, man, you know, you
So in other words, How many brothers do you hear compared to sisters are worried about having a baby with light skin?
Oh, it's quite a few.
Not many.
It's quite a few.
Because guess what? You won't hear a lot of dark skinned sisters.
What was the question, Charles?
How many brothers compared to sisters are worried about the baby being a certain color? We don't.
Cheers to more light-skinned babies.
That's more of a
Cheers to more light-skinned babies.
Hold on.
I'm going to explain this again. How many compared? Meaning there are some who do it, but how many compared to the other?
Yeah, it's more of a woman thing. That's not to say guys don't do it, but I'm saying that's definitely more of a woman thing than a guy.
More of a woman. We don't carry that shit. You know why?
Yeah, Renee, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think that it is more of a woman thing to verbally say that they who verbally may talk about the complexion they want their baby or things of that nature. I think that's something more women do verbally. But as far as being concerned about the complexion of your baby, Black men absolutely contribute to that. Here's the difference. They're just not verbal about it. They're action-based. So that's why they go get with women.
Because
allow me to finish. I'm speaking, allow me to finish. They're action-based. That's why they go and get women who are either very light-skinned or they get non-Black women, because they know instinctively my child is going to be a lighter complexion. They know that if they get with a certain type of woman, or it's more likely, I'll say that, because some of them end up with dark-skinned children. But it's more likely that their child will be a lighter complexion. And that's one of the reasons why they choose these women, is because they know they won't have dark babies with a woman. So Black women are more expressive verbally about it, and Black men are more expressive action-wise about it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The majority of Black men are marrying Black women, and majority of Black women are dark. So what does that mean? We don't really care, because we can get any woman we want. We don't care.
I mean,
we don't go out there.
I don't necessarily know what that has to do with anything.
We don't express it much, do we?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're talking about a very
Black guy.
How many Black guys wear weaves? How many Black guys wear hair? In other words, how many Black guys put hair that is straightened compared to their own texture?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, no, come on, that's not going there. Man, weave.
Hold up, I'm just using what you just said.
Hold on, Charles.
I'm just using, let me finish. When you just said the word expressive, I'm just using what you just said. When you talk about expressive, how many sisters put this long, silky, smooth weave that does not reflect the Africanoid race in their hair when we talk about expressive?
Please don't roll this into some hair weave conversation. I'm not in the mood for it.
I'm just using what you just said.
I'm talking.
I'm just using what you just said.
Excuse me.
When she said expressive, she said verbalize.
Excuse me. I'm not going to yell over nobody. Excuse me. We
I'm not yelling over you either.
We can talk one at a time. I just listened to what you said, so we're going to talk one at a time.
Yes, we are. We're not going to talk to
and so,
the voice hasn't changed either way.
He's still
Still doing it.
Go ahead, Renee. So, here's the thing with that conversation. I mean, clearly the answer is Black women wear more weaves than Black men do. I mean, that's a ridiculous question. Here's the thing, though. Why are Black women and Black men being compared when it comes to hair, when the expectations for men and women when it comes to hair are totally different? The expectation, I'm not done talking. The expectation of women having hair, having long hair, having a particular style, that is an expectation people have of women across the board. Men's hairstyles are much more lax. They're much more, they're not focused on as much. So a man can shave his head bald and still be seen as handsome in the society, in the community. He could cut his hair all the way down. He can do with his hair not have to do nothing with it. Just keep it, keep it shaved. But for women, there's an expectation of you to have your hair styled. Especially black women, it's an expectation for you to have your hair styled. It's an expectation for you to have your hair a particular way, especially if you work in offices or corporate America. And I always say this, like Chris Rock said, when black women's hair is relaxed, white people are relaxed. When it comes to like promotions within your job, when it comes to job interviews, when it comes to like even being in the military, you cannot have your hair grow out. 2 inches from your head? You could not have multiple braids in your head. You had to have one braid. So you had a lot of black women turn to other measures in order to meet certain standards. Same thing within the work world. Now beyond that, if black women choose to go get their hair done a certain way, then that's on them. All that a man has to do is not choose a woman who has a weave in her hair. He can choose and the natural hair movement is huge. I am 100% natural. Damn near all the women in my family, damn near all the friends of black women that I know are natural. Some of them wear weave, yes, but the majority of them are natural. And so it's a ton of natural black women out here. You can go online dating. You can go to natural hair expos. They have them all the time. You can go to plenty of places and meet black women or see black women with natural hair. So you don't have to choose a black woman with a long straight weave. Thank you.
Number one, majority of black women are natural, because if that was true, why is it still $1 billion business?
I said the majority of the black women I know.
I'm talking. Number two, you can have more than one braid in your hair in the military.
Okay, well,
but carry on. So far from your head over.
The whole time you spoke. We're not going to do that. We're going to be respectful.
Just get on with it. Get on with it.
Stop it. I didn't give you this snarky attitude.
Just get on with it.
Stop it. Stop it. Now, this is the reason why you want to be snarky when I was quiet the whole damn time, right? But you want to show your ass. We can do that if you want. So, are you going to set up or not?
I just want to let you know that I'm a co-host.
Are you going to keep talking, or can I finish?
I'm gonna let you know that I'm a co-host on here. So you're not gonna let me know.
Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. All right. Wait, one second. We're gonna let Charles finish his statement. And then we're going to allow whoever wants to respond after he's done. Let him finish what he's saying. All right.
Number one, there are plenty of black men who had dreads and locks who are costed more than women. Number two, there are plenty of black women in the military, and I was in the military for 10 years, who had their hair in multiple braids. And guess what? As long as it did not touch the collar, nobody, and your cap or your cover fit, nobody gave a damn. Because guess what? Women are more affected by the environment. The standard of beauty in America is white. So if you're affected more by the environment, by the standard of beauty, what are you going to reflect? More so. The white standard of beauty. Do I blame the sisters for that? No. But guess what? There are too many black men who come to their job, and guess what? They can't have an attitude. They can't be snarky. They got to play the good nigga role. But guess what? There's plenty of sisters who could go to their government jobs or whatever type of jobs or careers they have and still carry on the way. Do I think that's a lot of them? No, that'd be unfair to say. So when it comes to hair, a lot of brothers can't go and naturally grow their hair, not even in the military, because it only can be so long. We can't shave like the white boys, and shaving doesn't affect women like it does men. So there's a lot that goes on when it comes to black men, and I'm not going for a pissing contest. I know there's a lot of the stuff goes on. But to say, oh, you can only have, no. Sisters came in there with all kinds of hairstyles. As long as it fit underneath that cover, nobody said a goddamn word. But a brother do what they call what is a cruddy, their natural hair, and have it tapered, No, they weren't going for that shit at first.
Are you done?
Sure.
Hey, just really quickly, California just banned any discrimination of natural hair, so it's no excuse out here.
That's good.
All right, I'm gonna speak now. So first, I want to say that I'm a co-host on here. So I just want to make that very clear. Second of all, we can talk one at a time. Third of all, this is not a gender bashing, gender banging platform. So that's not what this is built on. It's not no black men versus black women. We don't do that over here. But the Army lifts ban. This is from the New York Times. The Army lifts a ban on dreadlocks, and black service women rejoice. Excuse me. And it talks in the article about braids, dreadlocks, and twists, and how it was primarily black women who were speaking out about this. And this was effective January 5th, 2017. So it's very recently that black women have been able to wear certain particular styles within the U.S. Army, according to their guidelines. That's all I'm saying, according to their guidelines. The other reason, that just proves to you how big the natural hair movement is. That you're now beginning to see changes in legislation, you're beginning to see changes in policies in workplaces, because it is black women who are pushing and driving the effort, because so many black women are natural. If all black women were wearing weaves, there wouldn't be no need for them to be changing any natural hair regulations. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. So again, it just goes to show you how huge the natural hair movement is. And in fact, natural hair is a multi-billion-dollar industry. You had where major hair care companies who had to go scramble in order to come up with natural hair products, because nobody was buying the other stuff anymore. Nobody was doing that. Black women was going to get coconut oil and make it, and going on YouTube and finding ways to make their own products to do their own natural hair. And so the natural hair movement, like I said, is huge. And I rarely hear black men talk about that. And that's my problem. And this is how you can tell that a lot of, I'm almost done. I'll be done in a second. And this shows you how some of these dudes, all they want to do is just bash and attack black women. Because if you really cared and had concern about black women's hair, you would be championing black women who are natural. You will be supporting them. You will be posting them. You will be hailing them. You will be saying all of the positive things and showing more sisters where they can get more information at, if you really truly cared about black women's hair. However, a lot of people use weave in order to demonize black women and attack black women. And it's not because they really care about black women's hair. It's because they really hate black women. The other thing is, this is not a gender bashing. And let me also just get this thing here. I'm not going to sit here and compare black women's hair to black men's hair. That is the most ridiculous argument. There are excuse me, I'm still talking. There are two hugely different categories. I'm still talking. There's two hugely different categories between men's hair expectations and women's hair expectations. Let's stop playing games. Are there some black people with locks? Yes. Just like it's some black women with locks. Yes. But overwhelmingly, women are expected to have more hair on their head. Women are expected to get their hair styled. Women are have other hair expectations than men do. Let's stop playing games. If a black woman, when you see black women, and sometimes you'll see black women who have their hair shaved, they stick out like a sore thumb. Everybody's looking. When you see a black man with his hair bald, nobody's looking at that, because that's expected, that's common, that's normal, that's regular. There are different hair expectations for black women and men, and I'm not going to compare them.
See, number one,
how you going to compare a black man to a weed?
Number one,
thank you. It's not like a black man will go to a job interview and get rejected based on his hair. So
that has happened before. So
I'm just saying it happens more to black women. That's all I'm mentioning.
Because there were black men who were rejected because of their hair. 2, whether you're the host of something or not, we're not going to be rude to each other. 3, when I came on here, did I not start out defending Sierra? Did I already say that Russell Wilson is not a simp for marrying her? Last time I checked, she's considered black in this country, right?
Yes.
So did I not defend her? Number 2, I've been in the Army from 99 to 2009. There were plenty of sisters who had braids and dreads in their hair. Were there a lot? No. There are plenty of sisters who had short cuts. There's less restriction in the military for women in hair than it is for men. Stop it.
I used to be in the military as well, and
there's less restrictions. We can't grow our hair and have it not touch the collar, can we?
that's correct. You can grow your hair, but they made you put it back in a ponytail or some type of bun or whatever, so it wouldn't touch your collar, and your cap also had to fit on top of your head. So yeah.
I said that, right? So
yeah, you said that.
The first thing they do to men in basic training alone is what? Shave their heads bald. Do they do that to the women? No. And
because we're women, that's why.
I'm not. So guess what? There's less restriction. And I didn't come on here to bash black women. I came on here to let everybody know there are certain things when it comes to a certain dollar sign and how big a person's pocket that they play by different rules. Just like, guess what? She's not messing with dudes who are not millionaires. She's marrying somebody within her status and class.
Okay.
Just like, guess what? I applaud Russell for marrying somebody. Guess what? There's plenty of brothers who marry women with kids. There's plenty of women who marry brothers with kids.
Yeah.
Did I come in there bashing black women? No. And if the natural hair was as popular as everybody says it was, you would not need a movement. Yeah.
We're taking back ownership of our own hair, the same way we're taking back ownership of what we want to call ourselves. You know, it all plays a role.
I wish every black woman wore her natural hair. I've dealt with plenty of women, a plethora of them, who I complimented their natural hair. You know the response that I usually got? Oh no, it's not done.
But even if a woman had a relaxer in her hair, she probably would say the same thing. So I mean,
it's
just like if you were to compliment a woman on her outfit, sometimes she's like, "Oh, I got this from. Oh, you know, it's okay. I got this from such and such." It's like we have to downplay ourselves a little bit in order to not seem like we're, arrogant
about it.
Yeah. What is that?
That doesn't mean anything bad because she said it's not done. That doesn't mean anything bad.
Hey, love, what's your name, love?
But the other thing is,
That's Muchacha.
The other thing is,
Muchacha.
That.
Go ahead, Renee.
The other thing is that I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Hey, just real quick, I want y'all to notice he actually came on to defend Sierra, and Muchacha. Wait, let me finish. Because Muchacha didn't like the angle that he was coming at, she still came at him. And this
I wasn't coming at him. I was just asking him a question. So now because I asked a man a question, I'm coming for him. Okay, wow, this is amazing.
Who's speaking? Because I'm not looking at it right now.
Oh, this is your boy, Big Game Orito James. They call me
Big Game. I was thought. Okay, what's up, Big James? So what's the lady's name?
Muchacha.
Muchacha, the one who was allegedly coming at me, right?
Yeah, allegedly, because I wasn't.
That's why I said alleged. See, this is the fact that you gotta understand. I love black women with natural hair.
Okay. Round of applause for you.
Now, do we have a psychosis about it in the community? Yes. Do I wish more would have the confidence to actually appreciate it like the men do? Just like this. It's like I would always joke with women, but you don't understand. And I would ask women, how many women did you date? None? Yeah, you don't have to go through that, right? Yeah. Even when we had the afro in the 70s, when we said, hey, you don't need that white man's chemicals and burn your scalp out. Grow your shit out like this. Be proud of that shit. Pick it out, let it nap up. Hell, we can. Guess what? Did it stop brothers messing with them? No.
Of course it didn't.
But yeah, the natural hair movement exists because the natural hair movement exists because there has been and here's the thing, when you are a community who is being dominated. Somebody got a lot of
That's Chaos or Charles, one of the two.
Yeah, can y'all keep that line, please? It's a lot of background noise.
That was just me moving my short table. Go ahead.
When you're a group of people that are subjugated, the expectation is for you to assimilate. That is what's expected, because the dominant group has the primary, they have the primary amount of resources, of wealth, etc. So the expectation is for the lower group to assimilate to how the larger group is, okay? So as Black women began to be more into the workplace, into the work world, there were certain expectations of how they wore their hair. Like going back to like my grandmother's day and time, they would be sitting in that kitchen for hours pressing out their hair so they can have their hair pressed and curled under to resemble more. Can you just mute the lines?
That's not me.
And okay, your thing is coming up.
Yeah, his avatar.
But they would be in the kitchen for hours pressing their hair to have, a look that was more conducive to like a white one. Y'all seen like the 50s style hair or whatnot. And so that's how a lot of Black women, or they be in a salon for hours trying to
wait a minute. I want to ask you a question after this.
There's always been an expectation for Black women's hair to be more acceptable to white people and considered to be more white in order for you to gain like any type of real economic resources. Okay, so as Black women begin to be in the work world more and more, and some of the feminist policies, affirmative action. Let me finish, Cass. More of the feminist policies and affirmative action and whatnot. And as more Black women also got jobs, there was a certain expectation there that came along with that. But even when Black women were pressing their hair, or even in the 80s and 90s, Black women were still doing the asymmetrical cuts. We were still doing it where it was stacked in the back and curled and shaved on the side. We were still doing it with a bun and finger waves right here. We still always had our own style. We'll have a strip of weave on the side, and then this part over here in a bun. So Black women, even within certain constraints, we still always try to have our own style, our own thing that we went for, even though people would call our styles ghetto. See, that's the thing that's so funny about it. When Black women have our own unique style and way that we do things, we're called ghetto.
Yes.
Then when you do things more like the mainstream, right, then you're trying to be a white woman. It's like such a slippery slope. It's such a fine line.
It's up and down and around the corner,
You know what I'm saying? That's ghetto. You wear a hairstyle that's like, this is what I put together. This is cute. This is how I'm doing my hair. It's this stuff. She ghetto. She's hood rat. She's ratchet. But then you have a weave or you have your hair in the silk press, your own hair in a silk press that is pressed out straight, and you can kind of flip it or do things with it, then, she's trying to be like a white girl. People can't make up their minds what they want for Black women to be. It is out of this world. And the natural hair movement came about because Black women started rejecting all of that. Black women started rejecting relaxers. We rejected putting all the heat damage on our head. We rejected some of those things. Are there still Black women who wear weave? Absolutely. But what Black men don't understand is within the Black female community, there's almost kind of like a civil war between the naturalistas and women who wear weave. Sometimes they overlap, but a lot of women who are natural are very staunch about it, and they feel like this is what it should be. Some women who wear weave are like, well, ain't nobody paying for my hair. I'm paying for it. This is what I choose to do. So whatever the case, whatever the way a Black woman wears her hair, that does not make her any less of a person. That don't make her any less of a human being because she got a motherfucking weave in her head. I don't care what nobody says. Wait, let me finish. I'm almost done. And the natural hair movement is sad. I understand what the brother was saying. It's sad that we have to have a natural hair movement. However, I look at the bright side of it, that more and more Black women are choosing to celebrate their hair. And the biggest difference I noticed is that if you go to Black high schools, Black elementary schools, you will middle school, you will see that them little Black girls don't have relaxers in their hair no more. You will see that those girls got their poof balls, they got their braids, they got natural styles in their hair. Them they mama got that stuff in their hair no more. They not dealing with their hair. They starting their hair out natural and taken care
Virgin,
of,
as they call it.
Exactly, and that's what's up. And I would love to see more Black men recognize that. You don't have to bash weave to encourage natural hair. You can encourage natural hair on its own. You don't gotta attack weave. Why don't y'all promote natural hair? That's what I don't get.
We do.
Where? All I hear is
I just want to say something real quick. Well, hold on one second.
Just woke up.
Chaos, would you like to say something?
Wait, just real quick. I want to let Chaos in, but see, this is the thing.
All right.
When we talk, Black women, they do this thing because a lot of Black dudes, they don't know, man. Like, so they always can get over it. One, people who wear, a lot of these chicks who wear wigs still identify as natural. So, and weave as well identify as natural. So, wearing weave and being natural is not two opposing things. They can be one and the same. And you even said that. You said they both overlap. So that's one thing. Secondly,
yes, I said that.
I know, but I'm just making sure I point that out and make sure it's a huge difference, because it's a huge difference between glossing over it and making sure you harp on it. Secondly,
He ain't gonna show up to harp on that now.
but secondly, most I still gotta say this: most of the women who wear their hair naturally are either dykes or they don't date Black dudes. So when you say it is what it is,
Jesus
I mean you can say it, but it is what it is.
Oh boy!
It is what it is. So you guys can say, oh, you can just go date a girl.
That's a straight, bald-headed, bold-faced lie you telling on here, OJ.
But you can't.
I'm gonna talk over you for that.
Natural hair is not gonna date you. And then
OJ.
and then thirdly,
OJ, please stop with the lies.
I do gotta point this out. She said earlier
You just
that
keep right on going to train
they
wreck,
said,
child. It's a train wreck.
these they were getting their hair perm. Or relaxed, so she don't say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about because you said perm. But I want to point this out too, real quick. Like I said before, my mom calls a quote unquote relaxer a perm, and also the other day, Lashifa, you called a quote unquote relaxer a perm. So it's normal for older women to call relaxers perms. That's another thing, because you try to say, oh, if you call a relaxer a perm,
it is.
you don't know what you're talking about.
What's wrong with that?
If you call a
Who said that? Who said that?
No, she tried to say I didn't know what I was talking about when I called yes, you did. You tried to say I didn't know what I was talking about.
Some people call it a perm, but it's a relaxer. But some people call it a perm.
I know, but I'm pointing that out because you tried to make it seem like I didn't know what I was talking about. So, thirdly, again, these I forgot my last point, but I went in a little bit. I'll figure out what I was saying later. But go ahead.
Can I just say something? Because this is why I don't like to have conversations about hair. At the end of the day, there is a natural hair movement for a reason, because women are taking back their hair. They're more comfortable. Black women are more comfortable in their natural hair. Relaxers, they're not selling relaxers like they used to. There are so much natural hair products out there now. You got the Koreans trying to get their hands in the natural hair movement right now, because there's Black women with their own natural hair companies now. Like Renee said, you have girls now, graduation pictures, even college graduations with their natural hair. So there is a movement.
You've got background noise.
Still are mixed chicks.
You got women.
Stop lying, Chaos. It's not no mixed women.
You got women who wear weaves or calling women with natural hair, they call it slave hair. So
they call it nigga hair.
So regardless of what they call it, it's still disrespect to women who are wearing their natural hair. So it's like on a black woman's head is damned if she do, damned if she don't. Because if she wear her natural hair, you will have some that say, well, all black women don't look good with natural hair. Okay. We self-hate. So it's like, you know, let's just keep it a G. You're gonna have some people, regardless of what black women do to their hair, gonna have a problem with it. Now, the only problem I have with the weave is that what it does to black women's hair over time. There's traction alopecia, there's all types of issues because of the prolonged with wearing weave, mold, you name it. So, part of the reason why you have some women with natural hair is because they can't put weave in their hair anymore because their hair has gotten so weak. Now you're seeing videos, especially if you go on Instagram, with beauticians that are growing the hair of these sisters that lost their hair with weave and wigs. So it's not that many sisters running around here with weave. My thing is, just embrace the sisters who are rocking their hair natural.
Oh my God.
Just celebrate them who wear their natural hair. If you want to wear weave, wear weave. If you don't, you don't. Whatever. A weave or a natural hair doesn't make the woman.
When do you celebrate sisters who wear natural hair?
But put it this way, Mr. Faulkner. You may do it, and the men you associate may do it. I'm not saying that you don't. I believe you. But sadly, the consensus online, that's not what we see online.
We don't care about the hair. Men don't care about
and
that.
Some men don't know that. Some men don't know that every woman that you see with long hair, straight hair, is not a weave.
Right.
Some men don't know that. It's a lot of black women. It's two things that a lot of I think people don't realize. Two things a lot of people don't realize is that one, black women have a lot of shrinkage, especially if you have 4C hair. So see, like right here, you see how the length of her hair is? You will see how long her hair is once they get done pressing her hair out. So a lot of people have always thought black women can't grow long hair. They don't. That's absolutely false. The other thing is a lot of men don't realize. Go ahead, Chaos. Go ahead. Say everything you need to say. Go ahead.
Let me say this. The problem with this hair issue, now we're going to get sensitive regardless of hair. If you're not really listening to men, on an average, regardless of what you hear about what the fuck they're talking about is other than that, on average, a man wants to deal with natural. That's possible. But I don't want
it depends on the man.
Let me speak. They want to deal with natural at the end of the day. Y'all need to start listening to Nicole Michelle's material because she gets the picture. And a lot of women not getting it. And this is what I'm starting to see. And Charles could vouch for me for this. That regardless of what the fuck society said or stuff, at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do with your own damn head. Now, if you feel that you're gonna get more attraction by wearing the fake hair, the perms, whatever you want to call it, to make your hair look nice and European, then go ahead. That's all by you. No one's gonna stop you. But don't sit there and criticize the dudes that will say you decide to go natural. They're saying something that you feel offended. You live in a fucking world. What conditions say that straight is right. And we got this teaching from our mamas, our grandmas, all that stuff. So until we start breaking these programs, regardless of any movement that we establish, it's going to always crumble because we're not consistent. We don't stand on merit. That's all I'm going to say.
And also, real quick, I want to know that she was just doing it. She was just doing it right now. She acts like I think every black male on here has had an afro before. We know our afro, when you pick it out, we know your hair is not as short as it is when you when it's in afro form.
Some men might not realize that.
Every black dude has had an afro and braids.
Not every black dude has had an afro.
Every single black
man had a black mother.
Exactly.
What?
If they haven't had no afro, they had a black mom. So I don't know why y'all try to act like we're stupid. Like, no, we know that all black women.
I know majority of black men had a black mother and at least black sisters. So we know how black hair is. Hell, majority of black boys don't get their hair cut till like what, 4 or 5?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine if y'all know, but
So we know how hair is. It's just like this, right? I don't criticize a sister for her hair. But
I don't even know how we
I know what it is.
this hair talk. I'm tired of talking about hair.
It's just like when brothers are criticized because of their vernacular. There are certain things that we need to. Hey, we heard the terms "talk white." If we don't move.
So that doesn't get applied to black women as well.
No, not really.
Like nutty.
Not really.
Chaos, you do realize that I think the lady, Nicole Michelle, I've seen her. She, I don't think she has a problem with weed. And in fact, I think she promotes having your hair like straightened out and stuff like that. So, you might need to look at that. And please mute your line. Please mute your line. You got a lot of background noise.
Yes.
You and Charles, please, y'all, please. Thank you. But you might need to, I don't know, bro. You might need to do a little bit more research.
I don't know, man, because I only listen to some material and
Because, yeah, I think y'all might differ on hair.
Renee, I even think about how you explained, you gave the example of how when your girlfriend went out to the club and she normally would have her hair, I guess, braided down, the weave, sewn or whatever. But then when she took it off and went to the club with her natural hair, she didn't get, the attention from brothers like she would have had she had the weaving. So let's not play the game like men aren't conditioned to seek after a certain thing via print media, television.
Right.
Even
Their comeback to that is going to be that if a woman has a weave, that means she looks easy. She's easier. Natural hair, that's going to be their comeback.
So now you hear him asking who's doing the conditioning. The same people who are conditioning black women to think that, our hair is ugly. That's who's doing the conditioning.
I just want to say this real quick. OJ, I wasn't intending to insult you or anybody else. You're not the only one who listens to this show. So there may be some black men, everything ain't about you. There may be some black men who don't really realize that and may not really think about it. Like, oh, well, yeah, I guess that is true. Our hair does shrink.
Every black dude has had an afro.
Allow me to finish. Every black
dude act like they getting their hair pressed out, though, OJ.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Black dudes always get. I don't know where y'all like black dudes.
If it don't apply, how about this?
If every black dude get their hair pressed out, that's a lie, OJ.
Hold on. If it don't apply, then let it fly, OJ. How about that?
Thank you.
Let me say this. I want to say two things, and I'm gonna fall back. One is that if y'all really do care about black women's health and black women's hair, y'all really, really, really would be championing black women not using relaxers anymore. Because in case you didn't know, it was causing black women fibroids. It was causing some have even said it's cancer causing. It's caused other issues within their body because of the toxicity of the chemicals that were being used. So even though if you're not having it applied correctly or you're wearing it too much or certain things, it can cause, like you said, traction alopecia, or it can cause some other issues. Is nothing that has been as severe chemically as relaxers. So to me, I would seem like more brothers would be happy about that and glad that black women have stopped using them. They put a can into the relaxer stuff and it ate up the can. Like, why are more brothers? Because relaxer sales have dropped by over 40% within the last few years. That's almost by half.
And we're calling it like you said, Renee.
Them relaxers got dust on them. Mm-hmm. Like white women ain't even using the creamy crack no more. They ain't even using those chemicals. But again, all these brothers who are so concerned about black women's hair health, I never hear them talk about that. And then the last thing I'll say is this. Can we get off the hair conversation?
Thank you.
All you gotta do is this one thing. Don't pick the woman who got the weave Don't pick her. That's all you
It's
gotta
impossible
do.
to not find
You ain't
her.
gotta do nothing.
OJ, stop it, OJ.
OJ, stop it.
OJ,
Stop it, OJ.
You got a girlfriend. There are what is black people meet is straight black, whatever that other dating site.
Straight black love.
It's natural. I encourage black men, go to the Natural Hair Expo. If you want to see some bad black women, some fine, beautiful black women with natural hair, go to Natural Hair Expos. Go to certain events. If you want to encounter black women with natural hair, since it's so hard, because most black men, I think, living in metropolitan areas, you can find somewhere where you have a certain crowd of black people, maybe middle class or maybe whatever your realm you're into, and seek out natural black women there. It's so many options. It's tons of natural hair salons in cities all across the country. It's really big business right now, natural hair. So go seek out some events. Go see if you really want you a natural sister, you really want you a natural black woman. Go seek out some of those events, and you will see tons of women. And go step to them. Go talk to them. Be confident. Approach them. Have conversations with them. It's so many options out there. So
Yeah, they get turned down, and then you see her with Opie at the end of the night.
You always always some bullshit.
You always gotta focus on the negative.
Always some
I'm totally
bullshit.
trying to get off here right now.
Thank you,
All right, now let's get off the hair. Let's get off the hair.
please.
Just like a man with a hair weave, if I find out that I don't have to be with him then.
Just like I don't have to be with him if he got false teeth.
Listen,
Okay.
let's get off let me say this. The weave thing isn't as bad of an issue as it was in the 80s and 90s today. Like today, there's a whole lot more natural hair going on than it was in the 80s. In the 80s and 90s, it was off the chain. And now it's not as hardly as bad. So, yes, I will acknowledge that. But I do also want to move on from this hair thing because it kind of hijacked the whole hangout.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to get back on topic. Yeah, we was discussing the whole mixed-ish show. Any of y'all have opinions on that new to the panel?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't even, because my girlfriend, she be watching Blackish and Grownish and all that crap. I still don't really understand. I mean, I guess I understand this about the Tracy Ellis Ross character, but it's like, I guess, like, I don't, it just is what it is, man. Like, because it's funny? Lately, I've been looking at, like, these acting, like, type things, trying to get, like, like, get casted or whatever for, like, some background work or something. And you would notice, like, when they put them out there, they'll put, and this could probably just be an LA thing, because people in LA, they don't say they're black. Like, it's hard to get, like, it don't matter how dark she is. If a girl, like, she's not going to say, like, it's pretty rare that she's going to say she's black. But it'll put, like, African-American looking, like, female, or African-American looking male. Like, I was like, what the hell? And then it, like, even in the categories, like, when you put in categories to get yourself casted, it'll say, like, African-American, Hispanic, white, and it'll say mixed looking, or like, some of them say other, but it says mixed looking.
Because they know that they
a,
have an agenda to continuously push. They want to go hard in the paint for their agenda. Point blank, period. So if you can show up and you African American looking ish or mixed looking, great. And especially if you're a black person who's willing to be paired up, whether in a commercial or a movie, opposite a white person, ding, 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 we got a winner right here. Just like in the music videos back in the 80s, well, I would say more so the 90s, because in the 90s you had more of the black on black love interest where you could tell the artist and then the model or the video person was black. But as you see over the years, it's gotten
more ambiguous.
Yeah, it's racially ambiguous, even though the one artist, whether male or female, could be black, and then the person playing opposite their love interest or whatever you want to call it in the video is racially ambiguous. So yeah, there is an agenda, and these people, it's not like they're just pausing if they don't get us. Yeah, like they're not thinking. This is what their think takes involved.
In television, it wasn't like that though, because in television, the mixed woman got put on a pedestal for a long time.
Right.
In Hollywood, I mean, you look at Different World. Different World had not one but two biracial lead women on that show. Right?
Yeah.
I believe Lisa Bonet was biracial, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I know Whitney is, and both of them were the leads of the show. You had that. Remember that? What was that old crackhead looking chick? They played in everything back there, and I hate her too. Ann Johnson.
I told you my daddy hated her.
Ann Johnson, I think.
Anne Marie Johnson.
I can't stand. Oh my goodness, yo. Oh man, but she was in every movie. She was in every movie back then. Like the biracial women always got pushed out in the lead when it comes to television and movies. Now the music video love interest and all that's true what you said. Like as time went on, that kind of grew into that towards like around the 2000s and everything else. You started noticing the difference there.
Yeah, and I was gonna make another point, but it'll come back to me and I'll bring it up later.
I don't know. I think this is just mixed people coming out saying this is who we are. We don't wear from Blackish to mixish, whatever you want to call it. Because even on Blackish, I think 2 other characters are mixed. So so to me, it's them saying we're not black. This is who we are. Like this is who we are, and this is how we want to be identified.
Yeah, I mean, I hear him say it all the time. I mean, Sage Still from ESPN, she don't acknowledge that she's black. She always embracing her other side, politically and socially. She's always embracing her other side. Like I said earlier, Tiger Woods, he never once. He corrects motherfuckers all the time to tell people he ain't black. And you hear these biracials all the time online. These biracials all the time online, they will say they are biracial. And just the fact that they gotta have their own classification just goes to show they not black. I mean, because they don't say that they're black. They'll say they biracial black, or they black, like, or they black, like, yeah, they biracial. Like, you see, they gotta have their own special class. So that's just the fact that they got that just goes to show that they're not the same. They're different.
I have a question.
They're black in them, but they ain't black.
I have a question, right?
Yeah.
So, like some of the people on, I guess, like you said, Blackish, are they not supposed to represent the other half of them, or are they supposed to just represent just only the black? I mean, so where's the issue that people have that they say that they love both their...
We don't have an issue with them saying that they love both of their parents.
I support them saying that they embrace both.
Right.
I just don't like the fact that they some people want to not acknowledge the fact that they got an other side. We're just promoting that they do have an other side, but that doesn't. Again, that just doesn't make them black. That means they just have black in them. But if they want to embrace, I support them embracing both sides. Like the whole mixed-ish show, we have no issues with the actual show. We actually like the fact that they did this because it shows again that there's a difference. It's not the same. So now they got a show called Mixed-ish, where it's all the biracials and everything. They got a whole bunch of swirling going on, and so whatever the case may be. It fits the name of the show, so we're fine with that. But when it was on Blackish, it was kind of like, well, that was supposed to be a black show, and you got people in here who's not really black. They kind of black, but not really. And it's kind of like, when it's stuff that's supposed to be strictly for black people, we just don't want to see biracials in those roles. Like, we're cool with biracials being in roles that are for them.
But we can't help this. We have parents is I mean, shit, some of the most hardcore people in the black community.
What we're saying is, it's no different if I were, which I am, a black woman who would go and try out for a role as an Arab woman, and I'm not Arab. You know what I'm saying? They would be raising Cain about that.
If you're mixed race, black or whatever, and you can get the role, because there are plenty of people who have different shades.
Like The Rock.
Like The Rock. Guess what? Did he get roles for looking like a black man? Yes. My father is the same complexion as The Rock. So I'm not mad at that. So it doesn't really affect me.
You ain't pissed off that The Rock got the role of John Henry? I mean, traditionally, John Henry looks like you.
John Henry
looks like you make a better John Henry than The Rock.
We're talking about representation.
Let me put it to you this way. Is John Henry a historical figure or a fictional one?
He's fictional, but he was always depicted as a dark man. He was actually. Wait. Let me pause that. It is some speculation that he was based on a true person. So basically we can't go off of speculation if he wasn't real, right? Yeah, because they got some rumors that he all these events took place in.
Well, people argue and say Jesus Christ ain't real, but that didn't stop white people from propping up the white Jesus.
Yeah, they got
to the point now where if you even tell black people who are conscious of, Jesus, the first one that will pop up in their head is the white one.
Well, Jesus,
they got some rumors that it happened in Alabama. Some people believe it happened like in Tennessee, Kentucky area. And
yeah, he's more like a legendary character, so we don't know if he's real or not.
Well, that's like saying, would you get upset with a black Superman?
I would.
White people get upset with the mere mention of a black James Bond.
Right.
I don't like all that.
So if you really, that's the same thing that I say to
nobody else makes any fictional. Look at that movie.
It's like, for example, right? This is the part when it comes to creativity, even when it comes to the comic book genre. Stop trying to make certain characters black and just make brand new black characters. Because it wouldn't make sense. You would get upset if you saw a white Black Panther. Like, I'm not upset about The Rock playing John Henry. Guess what? For all we know, there are so many people who historically, like you had a Frederick Douglass. His father was white. Does his contributions towards his people get any lesson?
Oh, no,
let me clarify.
Mixed people have traditionally helped us in history. Mixed people have traditionally helped us in history.
Because guess what? When you have roles, I can't blame a man who could look like a black person because my father's the same complexion as The Rock. My nephew and my sister is even lighter than that. I guess what? If you get a person who's mixed and they can play the role, just do me a favor, play the damn role well. You don't want somebody because
let me give you a better example. So, what's our beautiful sister's name? And Zoe Saldana played her, and everybody lost their mind. Nina Simone. Now, Nina Simone is a pure black, dark-skinned woman. Zoe Saldana is mixed, and she's about 3 shades lighter than Nina Simone. And she played that role. And everybody, and rightfully so, was like, what the hell is going on here? Out of all the people you could have got for this woman, you went to her? You went to her? Who had to darken her face?
Yep, they had to darken her own makeup. Yeah, dark makeup.
To play the role. So it's like,
it also goes to a fact that people are going out for this damn role.
It goes to the fact that white people understand that imagery is very important in the apparatus of white supremacy.
Yeah, we also have a lot of black
people. Hitler knew that. That's what made him, dangerous. He had those. What were those? What did he call the little children who he had?
Hitler Youth.
Hitler Youth. Yeah, he would set them down in front of a big projector screen and play various propaganda in order to make sure that he solidified their minds in thinking that they were doing the right thing for the right reason, which is what he wanted to promote.
Right. Now let's take a look at these two women. Let me
ask you something, because
where do these women look alike?
It's like the hair argument that we had earlier.
Can y'all see my screen?
Going back to the hair argument.
We're not going back to the hair argument. It's like how many people are going out to the world?
Yeah, we can see your screen, Renee.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was trying to present this. So y'all see the difference in the women?
One of them is good lighting, though.
How do they look alike?
It's like this.
If you was a dude, okay, so check this out. Say you a dude walking down the street, right? You see Nina Simone and you see Zoe Saldana, and you would say, I can't choose. They're identical.
So you're telling me that
I can't choose who to approach. They're identical.
how many people?
I can't tell them apart. Is that what you're gonna tell me? You can't tell them apart.
Yeah, but actors don't totally look like their role all the time.
But this was bad.
Y'all missing the point.
Oh, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to do that on everything?
Everything, like,
Stuff that is not even debatable. And Nina Simone
I'm gonna give you a good example. Right? I'm gonna give you a good example, right?
You still sit up.
Renee giving us a good example. Renee's giving us a good example.
It's ridiculous.
When Denzel played Malcolm X, is Denzel darker than Malcolm X? Or we just cared that he played somebody? Because you got to remember how many people.
The shade wasn't that far off, and Malcolm X was not biracial. His mother was.
Thank you.
His mother was mixed, and his father was black.
I didn't say anything about biracial. I didn't say anything about biracial.
But like Renee said, the shading as far as their skin tones is not that different. Malcolm X wasn't.
No, there was not like different.
If he played the role and he wasn't good at the role, will people still complain? So how many people are going up to the role?
If he played the role and he wasn't good at it, hell yeah, people would complain.
No, because guess what? A lot of times
people like India, you had people like India Irene. You had all kinds of black actresses.
Who could actually Denai Guerrero, who could have played her?
That's right. That's right.
India Ivory, is India Ivory a good actress?
I'm just saying. They
Well,
have.
hell, is Beyonce a good actress?
No, but she never played. Who does she play historically?
Can I speak?
The kid.
Somebody, I just threw India Irene's name out there.
Yeah.
They compiled a list of a bunch of different black actresses. That's just one name I said. But there was a whole list compiled of excellent black actresses who look way more like Nina Simone, who could have went out for the role, but they chose Zoe Saldana of all people.
Hey, Renee, that lady Estelle, that singer Estelle could have played Nina Simone.
And who said Zoe Saldana's a good actress? Like,
thank you.
She's a good actress, but it's like this. Are you gonna get mad? Are you gonna get mad at people who didn't go for the role?
Actually, is India Ivory a good actress?
I would say the shade.
Like, for example, are we gonna get mad at the people who went for the role or who didn't go for the role?
Nobody's mad at Zoe Saldana. We're pointing out the hypocrisy. We're pointing out the foolishness. Ain't nobody mad at Zoe Saldana.
How many black women?
Zoe Saldana. What are you talking about?
How many dark black women went out for the role?
We don't know that.
We don't know how many.
Did we promote black women to the role?
But let's be clear.
How many black women?
Hold on, let me say something. On that special, like Oprah did with black women in Hollywood, they talk much of what they talked about was how few roles there are for black women in Hollywood. And when there is a role that comes up for a black character, how the women are scraping and crawling trying to get to this role because there's so few roles. So I could not imagine that a major picture studio would put this role out and that no black women would go for it. No dark-skinned black women actors try out for it.
So wait a minute, let's back up for a second. Let's back up for a second.
Women being able to sing is a dime a dozen.
Let's back up a second. You telling me Oprah, who has her own TV and movie production, and some other people, what's the dude name who loves dressing up as a goddamn...
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry has his own movie production. Among others who couldn't fucking do the same damn thing?
I don't know. That's not...
So you're telling... So wait a minute. We're not going to go to the I don't knows. You're talking about these two are billionaires by themselves, individually. So you're telling me they couldn't do it?
I don't know, but...
I mean, but at the same time, they couldn't... So we're going to let... So this is the problem when I talk about the black community, about the three things we don't give a fuck about. We're waiting for somebody else to be the hero of our own narrative. When you got people who have enough money and enough will-how and know-how and enough resources to make this damn movie and to get the actresses But if the people don't show up, or if you don't have the right resources, or the people who have the movie studios don't want to produce the shit. So
Well, yeah,
it's like this.
that was
Oprah, because in my opinion, Oprah could have played the role and looked closer to her than Zoe Saldana. The chick who plays on The Walking Dead and also the Black Panther movie, I can't think of her name, will look damn near identical to her. So we couldn't, but guess what? We don't take in consideration of the actors or actresses' schedules. Did they go to the audition?
Well, anyway, the thing that Oprah had, y'all, was a black actress, a black woman in Hollywood. It was like a luncheon, and so she had interviewed like Felicia Rashad, Gabrielle Union. What's her name? The one who was in The Help. I always miss her name. Viola Davis. Yes, her. What's the other name? Alfred Woodard. There was a couple other and a few others. And I think she interviewed some younger black actresses. But they were talking about. I was still talking, and they were talking about how few roles there are in Hollywood. I'll let you finish talking. Did I not stop and let him finish talking, y'all? Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyway, so they were talking about how, when they were talking about dark-skinned actresses and colors and stuff like that, and they were also talking about how few roles there are in Hollywood for black actresses, and that when a role comes up for a black actress, when a role comes up for a black woman, like everybody's going to try out for it, to try to put their bid in, to try to get in the film. So like I said, for this movie to be a major motion picture studio film, I could not imagine that damn near all the black actresses, especially the darker ones in Hollywood, were not vying to play the role of Nina Simone. I mean, that's a biopic, that's a major film. So the fact that they chose Zoe Saldana was just disrespectful. And let me show y'all this where they put this makeup on her.
How?
Just really quick, I wanted to say that the difference between the skin color difference between Denzel and Malcolm is low key a little bit bigger than Zoe Saldana and Nina Simone.
No, it's not.
But at the same time, you want to talk about, you wouldn't suspect, did these women go out for the role? See, we don't know who all went out for the role. So guess what? If they didn't go for the role, or if they weren't as good as an actress, are you gonna give the...
Let's not act like subpar actors or subpar singers don't do things that we would really say that.
So you're telling me... Don't worry about it. So you're telling me... Yeah, Renee, go ahead. So a lot of these places that it's gonna be a major motion picture, well, even though they call a lot of it a motion picture, didn't go out for the roles.
We don't know who went out for the role. That's what we're telling you.
Look at this right here, y'all. Look at this. Look at this makeup. They look a hot mess. Mm-hmm. They look a hot mess.
I don't get it because a lot of times.
That's crazy as hell.
A lot of times, right? See, this is
my God.
That is crazy as hell.
This is the whole thing about it. Because guess what? A lot of times, like I said earlier, this is stuff that dudes don't really care about. Because if you're gonna go for the role, I don't care who gets the role. Are they gonna play the role?
That's the problem. You don't care.
We care about it. You don't care about it.
You don't have to. Again, that's how they are able to control your mind, because you don't care who gets the role. That's the point.
We're talking about it over here, and we care. And we think it's important
that's why in the music videos they will put a racially ambiguous
young dark-skinned black children and young dark-skinned black girls to see positive images of themselves. So yeah, we care. We certainly care. Anyway, look at this, y'all.
Because guess what? The only people who care about
how do these two women look alike?
They don't look anything alike. They don't look anything alike.
So guess what? Why not blame?
That's horrible.
Here's my question: why not blame the people who didn't go for the role?
First of all, we don't know if who's with the role or not. We're not blaming.
Guess what?
Hold on. We're not blaming anybody.
So
we're
you
pointing
agree
out
with her?
something that happened. We're pointing out a reality. We're not blaming anybody.
The reality is,
Renee, they gotta understand too that the background with the whole Zoe thing getting, let's say, the Nina Simone role is that white supremacists know that, again, imagery is important. So
Right.
even though she's playing Nina Simone, but black people or whomever else is going to look at her personal life and say, oh, she's dating or married to a white man.
Mhm,
I can
right.
be like that too. In order for me to excel, I'm going to have to get my non-black,
Right.
significant other. So that's how it ties in to what we're talking about, Charles.
that's how it ties in. Because
You don't think so?
No, it does not.
You just said, but earlier you just said that the looks of the other woman, when I asked about Sierra being a rich woman that Russell Wilson married, and you said it increased his brand. So I said, well, if it's about branding, then why wouldn't some of the pro-black athletes who have money get with some of the rich black women in Hollywood or even in the music industry, wherever else, and increase their brand? And I said, because they're marrying women, white women who are not rich. And you told me it was about looks. So you mean there's no fine black women?
Let's stop the bullshit for a second.
Anyway,
Never mind. Go ahead, Renee.
Majority of those athletes, no, we're not going to do that. Majority of the athletes in the NFL and NBA are not married to white women. So
oh my God!
Oh my God! Yes, we're gonna stop that. We're gonna stop that stereotypical bullshit.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
We gonna stop. We gonna stop
the devil on this.
All I'm mad about is that there's a lighter skinned woman and a darker skinned woman.
You totally missing the point. And I think
y'all are missing the point.
Like you don't know what's being said here.
Y'all missing the point.
Go ahead, Renee.
Guess what? Because guess what? At the end of the day, y'all
it's black women's fault. Yeah, we know.
No, because stop trying to shame people. That's bullshit. We're
not trying to shame you.
We're not trying to shame you.
Black women's fault. Who just made that damn comment? Who just made that comment? But nobody said anything about black women's fault. That's some shaming bullshit. No, that's some shaming bullshit.
We want to see what Renee is putting up on her screen.
Bullshit you just pulled out your mouth. Nobody said a damn thing about the black woman's fault.
Okay, mute him.
Hold on. We gonna still speak with respect and not because
we're gonna be respectful, but we're not gonna pull that bullshit to try to pull something out of somebody's mouth that nobody can.
In our speech, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, we're gonna be respectful. We're not trying to be condescending.
Do y'all see her as compared to
We're not gonna do that.
What's her name? Zoe Saldana. Now look at this terrible makeup job where they try to make her look darker, and you got this dark woman right here with her natural skin. This looks a hot mess. This looks a hot mess, and they chose this woman to play Nina Simone. Like, this is the type of foolishness that we talking about. These women don't look. Tell me how they look alike. Explain that to me.
Can you mute yourself? We can hear you moving.
These people look nothing alike at all. Not the lips, not the nose, the eyes, the complexion, the undertones, the nothing. Look at her hair texture, which naturally her hair is more straight. Her hair texture, she was straight up 4C. So this is just like another slap in the face of how, the Hollywood games they play or whatnot. Excuse me, but let's move on to something else, y'all.
Yeah. I think the majority of people who are honest get what we're trying to convey, and other people are just being disingenuous. So anyway.
Because some people just like to make everything like gender arguments.
So we're not going to do that because, first of all, being disingenuous is like saying, oh, well, these dark-skinned women, how the hell you know anybody went for a role? Oprah
Man, you really keep coming back with that.
Guess what? You're talking about a goddamn Oprah shit.
This what we gonna do.
It's just like the
We
other
gonna
day on
split stuff on
Nyla's
who win and
You
try it
got
out for the role.
I'm
Oh my God.
boo-hooing because you've been boo-hooing a lot this week.
Go ahead.
I'm boo-hooing because you've been boo-hooing a lot this week.
Boo-hoo how?
Because when we won Nyla's panel, and I asked you this one question, I'm gonna leave because we ain't gonna talk about this. No,
I don't know what y'all talking about with that.
I don't know what are you talking about.
Because first of all, she knows what I'm talking about.
Michael,
She knows what I'm talking about. This
Hold on.
is it. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Because first and foremost, y'all want to whine about some actress who playing the role. But guess what? You have all these black studios, black-owned studios who get the roles.
You are
But
lying.
whining about the damn role. Nobody gives a damn about the movie. You're whining because nobody cares about the role. Nobody cares. This is the least of black people's problem.
Just make it clear that you can say that you don't care.
Hold on,
But who wants it?
Hold on, y'all. Listen. It ain't gonna, first of all, you're lying. I did not say that. Psycho, did I say that?
When you left, no. You just kind of just dropped off.
Thank you. I did just drop off. I didn't say anything. So that's a lie. The second thing
we doing a lot. Because first of all, this whole actress thing about Planet, it's a low-tier argument. It's a low-tier argument.
Well, let me tell you something.
Nobody cares if she plays the role.
So this is a low-tier argument, but
Nobody
that's what
cares
we're
if she
talking
plays
about
the
over
role.
here. You don't have to be on the channel.
You have billionaires.
You don't have to be on the channel, sir.
Guess what?
You don't have to be on here.
It's low-tier.
You asked to come on. You don't have to be on here.
Low tier. Because it's just like when you were crying about the hair argument. How the hell is it you don't want to be on the hair argument, but you're going on the skin argument?
What?
I don't know. This conversation getting kind of trippy.
It's getting trippy.
Put the drugs down and
You want
stuff
to be on the
like
hair
that.
argument, but you want to be on the complexion argument?
Huh? Well, we made an example about comparing.
Guess what?
Hold
a black person get the damn role.
Wait. Time out.
But you never claimed black.
Right.
Everybody one at a time. Everybody talk over everybody.
Let me start this off. First of all,
the same dark-skinned woman named Oprah, who has a movie studio, why the hell didn't she put the story out?
You're not
Okay,
going
but we-
to You're not going to run the
But we don't know why.
Why didn't she
You
start?
don't have to have low-tier
Or she wants to make money off of the argument of it instead of solving the problem.
but this ain't had nothing to do with Oprah though.
Yeah, it ain't got nothing to
You
do with
just came out of your mouth is that Oprah was getting all these black actresses who said it's so hard to get the roles. Does she not have a movie studio?
Oh boy.
Does she not have a production studio? So she wants to make money over the argument and not solve the damn problem for sisters who need work in the acting field.
I brought up how when there is a role for black actresses in Hollywood, all the black actresses come out because it's rare.
Of course, but how many it's just like Monique when she talking about why Netflix wasn't paying.
Oprah has nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
She has plenty. Is she in the industry? Is she in the industry? She has plenty to do with it.
You act like the industry doesn't have rules, Charles.
Guess what? Does she not? If it had so many rules, she would not have her own production studio, would she?
All right.
I'm not gonna be yelling over nobody.
Yeah,
I'm not
all right, everybody one at a
nobody.
time. Let Renee talk. Let Renee talk, and then Charles, you can respond after. Let it go. Go ahead, Renee.
This conversation has nothing to do with Oprah. I mentioned it because I was speaking about the black actresses who she was interviewing. There was a Black Women in Hollywood luncheon. She was there. They were saying that when there's a role for black women, all the black actresses come out. So my point was to say, for the movie about Nina Simone, there is no way in hell only Zoe Saldana tried out for that role. There is no way in hell that's the case. There are hardly any roles for black women. So I know damn well there were plenty of black women, dark-skinned black women from all around who tried out for that role. So I'm not gonna play no games. Just like somebody said, we're not gonna play no games, no bullshit games. We ain't gonna play no bullshit games that Zoe Saldana was the only damn one who tried out for Nina Simone's biopic. I'm not going for it. And Oprah ain't got nothing else to do with that point that I was trying to make. Let's move on. I'm not doing the gender thing. I'm not doing this back and forth. And if this is a low tier conversation, you can leave. You don't have to be here if this is low tier for you. And again, you lied. I did not say that on Nyla's panel. That's a damn lie.
No, I said if you want to quote me right, you did a lot of boo-hooing on Nyla's panel.
Don't lie on me.
No, yeah, you did a lot of boo-hooing.
Don't lie on me.
So first of all, if you're going to talk about some damn luncheon when Oprah can solve the issues of black actors getting roles, guess what? Are you going to look at Hollywood to give you a job, or is she going to do it herself? When you're going to talk about rules, if there were so many rules, you pretty much have your own damn network at one time. So that's bullshit.
Okay,
so I'll let you talk, correct? So you're going to tell me right now that guess what? When you go for a damn job, it's a competition. When you have plenty of those actresses who don't even compete for roles because they think they already should have them automatically.
Yeah, sure.
But guess what? If she's the only person that was capable of doing the damn job, I'm not mad at it. But guess what? If it was that bad, Oprah, Tyler Perry, and whoever else on a goddamn production studio could have solved the issue years ago and put a lot of these sisters who actually have some talent to work.
Okay. Opposite Charles
Conversation. Can we get off of this movie and roll thing and go on to something else? Because it's getting nowhere.
Woo! Another debate, another victory. Once again, with the officer of the goddamn law.